So, fun fact. A dolphin's nipples are located in its anus. Now, I don't know how useful that information is and why people would really care to know that because of how weird it is, but season 5 is here with us, and I don't think there's any better way that we should probably start this.
Get ready for the battle of the sexes.
Like, this is one of those facts that just makes you question a lot of things. Like, seriously, a lot. Because at no point in my life has the term, I will milk the shit out of his ass or her ass, made so much sense. Because you actually kind of think about it. Like, people use the nipples, or at least nipples for mammals are like for sucking out the milk. And it's like you're milking it from the back. And then, like, that in itself sounds wrong. And it just makes you start questioning a bunch of random things that you probably shouldn't be. Like, what if the G-spot is located in, like, the anus? Like, how does that happen? Because, like, I've also been told that, like, a man's G-spot is, like, in his anus. If you combine an anus with, like, sensitive nipples, and then, like, the dolphin has, like, gay sex, like, how much more pleasure will they be feeling? Like, this is something that I'm genuinely starting to question. But I probably shouldn't be questioning this shit because, like, the mere thought of it. But anyways, like, that was the story about two gay lions before. And, well, as a certain Kenya Film Classification Board exec once said, they probably need cancelling if they got to that level. But anyways, we have a podcast to do, so we might as well just start. Welcome to Break Time on West Side, your number one break time podcast, coming to you from Nairobi, Kenya. The man on the mic is a man who is now starting to look at dolphins differently. He is also a man who is super happy to be back doing Battle of the Sexes because we've missed this shit. We've missed doing it like it normally is. We've missed factory settings. But you know what? We are here. I am here. The man on the mic is none other than I, Sir Denver B. The show is Battle of the Sexes, your weekly love, sex, and relationship show. Season 5 is with us. We are going to be celebrating episode 50 next week. So my goodness, there is so much to celebrate this season. And honestly, I've genuinely missed this. Like, a month break was pretty okay. Like, fine, yes, there was the minisodes and all, and that's kind of over. Not unless if I release one episode this week to sort of kind of cap everything off. But there's been so much that's gone on. Like, I've honestly never felt like I was missing out on giving so much content up until this past break. Like, normally every break I usually kind of like de-stress and like get some R&R, do the minisodes for like experimentation and shit. But this time, like, from the first week I was on break, there's this whole wave of like interesting news that I'd have just talked about. Like, there's interesting tweets that I'd have broken down. Like, there's so much that I've actually missed over the past 4 weeks that genuinely in my heart I wish I could have just fired up the mic and gone back in and like done it. But you sort of have to respect the value of a good break, and I sort of had to do that. Because, you know, like, sometimes you just have to let some of these good stories slide because you have to get some R&R. And, like, there was so much that kind of went on. Between my break, there was the Cardi and Offset leaving each other. Now, apparently, they're back together. There was the Tory and Megan story and situation happening with Tory's album and someone talking shit and Rick Ross trying to talk shit while promoting Bel Air. Like, there's so much that's kind of gone on. And actually, let me even just go back to the whole Cardi and Offset situation, because that's kind of what's been running right now. Now, they sort of broke it off, and I remember by the time it was ending, the filing for divorce had sort of started, and it was a thing. But like right now, guys have stories of Cardi busy twerking on Offset busy getting her like a billboard with her name on it for her birthday, and apparently now they're back together, and everyone's catching a feeling. Because people are like, oh my goodness, Offset is emotionally manipulating her. Oh, she's going back to this guy. And, you know, this is an abusive and a toxic relationship. And they shouldn't be together. Blah, 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 blah. And honestly, I just can't really give much of a flying damn about it. Because this is like the second time it's happened. Is it a toxic relationship? Probably not. I honestly don't really care. And I don't even think Offset is that emotionally abusive. I think he's a bit of a simp though, because like when you look at all the shit that this guy does to get Cardi back, either after he's fucked up or after Cardi chooses to leave, you are kind of left in awe. Because the first time Cardi dropped this guy was when apparently he had cheated on her, and all of a sudden this guy is surprising her on stage and asking her to take him back. Or you'd find that during his performance he like starts doing like this whole thing for Cardi, please take Offset back, and 21 Savage is helping him. But like right now you're looking at this time and it's like this guy went and like had a billboard with her name on it telling her happy birthday. Then after that he's buying her a Rolls Royce and a bunch of Birkin bags and trying to get her back. And I'm like, shorty wanted to leave, and this time it's not like you did something wrong. And you know, she still ended up coming back, because in as much as Offset is a simp, apparently according to Cardi, he clearly has good dick. She seems to be dickmatized. And because of that, Cardi is coming back just the same way she came back the other time, and it's just for the same exact reason. The dick, the sex. And y'all think that it's me that's just coming to this conclusion. No, like she actually admitted this herself. She actually admitted that the first time she went back, she actually admitted that she had gone back for the dick. That was the first time. And this, as a second time, she sort of admitted the same exact thing. Like, she just went back for the dick, and she knows how dysfunctional they are, but she's also going back for the dick. So I think because both of them stand to benefit, I think, you know, they're pretty good for all I know and care. But honestly, like, people just do not know how to let people have a break. Like, relationship shit like this happens all the time. It's just that I think that Cardi went a little bit too far with like filing for divorce, because normally you just leave. Why the hell do you have to go and file for divorce? You know, not unless if you have an album or a mixtape coming out and you know you want to generate some clout around the both of you. But anyways, I should probably let that one go, because we need to handle today's topic, which I found to be particularly interesting because it's been something that people have been talking about around here for like a week. Now, for those of y'all that might know this story, a certain guy had actually written, or should I say typed, a 2-page letter to his wife's bank supervisor telling him to leave his wife alone or he will kill her. And it's not that, you know, the wife was being stalked or being sexually abused or anything. She was just cheating on him with her supervisor, the bank supervisor. And what happened was the bank supervisor and the wife had sort of been banging for quite a while. They had done it on trips, they had done it around random hotels where they stayed, and it was like a common thing. It was like something that was going along for quite a while. And on that 2-page letter that this guy wrote up, because clearly people have time, he promised that he would kill him. He said that the bare minimum would be 2 shots to the chest. And from the video that people have gotten, which I also got, this guy did exactly that. He fired a bunch of bullets. I didn't bother counting, but I'm assuming he emptied the clip on him. And I think for most people, it's like a closed and shut case. Like, this guy dropped his entire identity. Like, everyone knows exactly who he is, and his online profile exists and people know him, and he's probably going to go to prison. And it's like one of those closed and shut cases, and everyone is probably all saying the same exact thing. Oh, you shouldn't do that. If your wife cheats on you, blah blah blah, you don't have to kill someone. Now imagine that, you know, you're going to jail and your wife is gonna go ahead and continue cheating on you with someone else. And I'm not gonna lie, there's not that much that you'd probably say to refute such a thing. Like, I'm not gonna go against that, you know, frame of thought, because, well, that's the only way you can really look at it. And not gonna lie, this is one of those situations where it's like, you know what, it's probably closed and shut, so I probably shouldn't talk about it because I'll just be repeating what other people say. But the reason why I'm sort of just trying to stick to this story is because I feel like there's something that people need to know and understand about relationships, whether marriage, whether casual. There's certain bits that people sort of need to learn and understand about, you know, the dynamics of relationships. Because like, firstly, I don't know why it is that you need to go that far for a cheating partner. Like, yes, you can find the person that your partner is cheating on you with. But the truth of the matter is, if they chose to cheat on you and you take the person that they're cheating on you with out of the equation, there's a pretty good chance that they'll just go and cheat on you with someone else. Like, you're removing the wrong piece from the chessboard. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really get to change much. And worse still, you're choosing to kill the person. And firstly, forgive me for acting all crime drama-ish about all of this, but the mere fact that this guy wrote up a letter and sent it to this guy, and it was 2 pages, actually shows that this guy intended on it. So there's intent there. So it's like just cold-blooded murder. I think of like the 1st degree or some shit. And the worst part about it is, this guy, if he goes to prison, when he goes to prison, if he has gone to prison, is still on the losing side. Because like, you've killed the person that your wife is cheating on you with, and now you're in prison. Like, so what? You think your wife is gonna stay locked onto you while you're in prison, possibly for life? Like, they'll probably move on with someone else. Hell, they might just apply for divorce and then, leave with half of your shit, and this time you can't even fight it. And while they've left, they'll probably go and hop on someone else's dick and then continue riding it while you're probably trying to guard yourself from dropping the soap and shit. So I think to some degree, like, this is part of the reason why I usually try to tell people, like, don't act out of rage. Like, fine, yes, you're emotionally charged and shit. That doesn't mean that you have to react then and there. And the worst part is, it was premeditated. This is something that's been building up for a while. Why do you have to go that far? If it's been building up for a while, you can use it as a proper case to go and file for divorce and get custody of your kids, which is probably a little bit more important. But someone just has to go and start fighting with someone else over their wife. And this is probably why I'd call it elite level simping. Now, the thing is, it's not like it's a guy thing alone. Like, I've seen women who sort of go through this time and time again. Actually, this is something that we mostly hear women going through, and women sort of putting themselves through, where it's like, you find that your husband is cheating on you with a certain woman. That woman is like busy moving around head held high, and then they sort of want to go there and like get rid of the woman and say, leave my man alone. Like, there's that possessiveness and there's that protectiveness that will be there. And for that reason, I probably wouldn't call it simping, because simping is mostly a guy thing. But I will ask, what tells you that the problem is the person that your partner is cheating on you with? Like, there's usually times when you can look and you're like, you know what, it's probably because this person's flesh was weak, blah blah blah. Spirit is strong, flesh is weak, I ended up landing on her pussy, I slid and I fell inside. Like, you can give all sorts of random excuses for it, but sometimes it's better to kind of just sit back, chill, and sort of just pay attention to some of the details. Because when you actually kind of look at it, cheating is almost sort of like a fever. Because like, when you look at why people have fevers, it's usually your body trying to raise its temperature so that it can kill whatever bacteria and maybe viruses that could be in your body that's not making you feel well. Like, that's sort of a common thing. And when you look at cheating and sort of treat it that way, it does kind of show that the body, which is your relationship, your marriage, the partnership that you have, could be under attack from a certain problem. And the thing is, it's actually not that hard to figure out what the problem is, because the problem is either external, and sometimes it's internal. It could be within and between the both of you, or even with one of you as individuals. So like, the easiest way to know this is just look at how they're cheating. So if your partner is cheating on you with a bunch of different people, so like let's assume that your partner is male or female and they're cheating on you with multiple individuals. So it's not like they just bang one person consistently, they're doing it with like 2-3 different people all at once, or it's like one times with a bunch of different women or men. Then the problem is external. It's not the relationship, it's the person and the forces outside. So it's either that other people are really good at seduction, or your partner just doesn't know how to keep their trousers or skirt or undies on. And it's a common thing. there's people that belong to the streets. As the book of Future says, from the streets did you belong, and to the streets you shall return. Thus I saith unto you, you belong to the streets. It's something that happens. But like, when you look at the other side of it, where it's like your partner is cheating on you with one person over a period of time, like they're not sleeping around with a bunch of other people, it's just one person, then there it just means that the problem is internal. The problem is in your relationship, and the problem could even be you as a partner. So it's just one of those things that you probably need to debate on, because like, when you look at this situation, this guy's wife was cheating on him, as far as we know, with only the supervisor, the bank guy. That's the only person that we know that she was cheating on him with. So the problem is internal. It's with their relationship, it's with their marriage. And the problem could even be this guy. And the most unfortunate thing is, this guy wasn't paying attention to that at all. For him, the problem was the wife's supposed supervisor or boss was banging her. Like, that was his biggest issue. And it doesn't even come close to what issues could be plaguing their marriage. Because this guy wants to go and rescue his wife and shit, act like fucking, I don't know, the Dark Knight or some shit, because clearly he's doing some dark shit shooting this guy. And he wants to look like he's the ever caring husband, but in reality he's probably a very crappy one, or maybe he's just a very crappy partner because he's not paying attention to the details. And I find it very, very hard to try and explain to someone like that the problem is internal, because they think that their marriage is perfectly okay. Because according to the letter, he says that the wife moved into quote unquote dressing like a prostitute around the house and not, taking care of the kids. What if the problem is the home? Like, what if the wife was actually trying to save whatever sex life they had by kind of dressing provocatively to make this guy horny? Like, we don't even know that, because clearly this guy was only focusing on the fact that apparently she was dressing like a hoe. And just like that, man's missed the details. The problem could have even been worse. The problem could have been him. Because if I can quote the letter again, because clearly I can't, read an entire 2 pages for you. Like, this guy spoke of how the supervisor was banging his wife with his matchstick dick. Like, kid you not, that was the term that he used on the letter. Word for word, he said matchstick D. And I don't know, like, I find it odd that this guy didn't even notice a bunch of details there, because not to crash the whole matchstick dick parade and everything, but if you supposedly have really good dick but your wife is going for matchstick dick, you should probably start questioning your dick, or just your ability to perform at that point. Because clearly, if your wife is constantly and consistently going for that same matchstick, then there seems to be a problem down there that you are not addressing. Just saying. And it probably isn't just in the bedroom life. Probably isn't their sex life. It could be other things. But this guy, if he's willing to let that issue float right on top of him, if he's willing to let such a crucial detail get past him, all because of his anger, then I think this guy has bigger problems. Because clearly, he seems to have a problem. He seems to be a part of the problem, but he doesn't want to address it. And frankly, to be honest, this is a big issue with a lot of people. Sometimes you find that you're being cheated on, and sometimes, you'll go and you'll blame the person cheating. You'll blame the person that your partner is cheating on you with, be it a friend, be it a colleague, be it even a sibling or a cousin, and you'll have some level of hate for them, and you'll sort of have a bit of an issue with your partner, but you'll get back to them. But deep down, you'll be forgetting that the issue can sometimes be internal. The issue can sometimes be in the relationship. And honestly, if anything, I think people need to start paying attention to that. If your partner cheats on you with one person and one person alone, then the issue is most probably internal. If they're cheating on you with a bunch of different people, then the issue isn't necessarily internal. It's mostly an external issue. When you look at the infidelity that happens, you kind of have to pay attention to some of the details, because sometimes it's a cry for something else. It's not that they just want to sleep with other people. It's probably because that other person is offering something that you should have probably been offering your partner. So please start paying attention to your partners and some of the signals that they give you and some of the details. Hell, even better, communicate and listen when someone is telling you something, especially if it's your partner. Otherwise, we're gonna continue having some of these issues. But anyways, that's been it from me. I want to know your thoughts. Do you think that the wife should have probably opened up and tried talking about it? Do you think that this guy is probably gonna enjoy himself when he drops the soap? And I don't know, do you think that maybe we should move his nipples to his anus so that he can get better pleasure in prison? The IG handle to hit us up on is at Breaktime on Westside. On Facebook, it is at Breaktime on Westside. And on Twitter, you can hit my personal DMs at Bagaka the D, the B and the D are capital. And fun fact, I actually noticed that guys have been sort of following on Castbox and people have been wanting to comment on the episodes. So yes, if you get Castbox, you can comment there. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. I will catch you guys on the next break. Take care.